The Ghana Tertiary Education Commission has justified the decision to restrict admissions into the colleges of education for the 2023 academic year. Now, the Commission threatened to withhold feeding grants and teacher trainee allowances to colleges of education if they admit students beyond the quota set for them. Executive Director of Africa Education Watch, Kofi Asari, says the government is evading the real challenges the colleges have to contend with. He wants the government to channel money for allowances into addressing these challenges, including infrastructure. Vice Principal for Bagabaga Colleges of Education, Emmanuel Al-Hassan, tells Joy News about the massive infrastructural deficits in his school and many colleges of education.
Actually, the project was supposed to have been completed in 2012. And that would have boosted the enrollment of females in the college. But because of this situation, we are forced to limit the number of ladies that we can admit. And this is something that we have strived to solve, but it is not something that is easy. It's a worry to us, and we have gone every length and breadth to see how the contractor could come back to site. All certificates that he has prepared and submitted to get fund for payment, I think they have been on it. But we are not seeing any progress of work on it. As we speak, some of the materials that were used here, like the cables, because they have abandoned it, second owners, or if I call them thieves, have come to pull them out. And obviously is going to increase the cost of the project if he comes back anytime. But the place has become a den for, miscreants. We smokers invade the place, and you can see a lot of things that some of these miscreants have dropped. If you go into some of the rooms, you can see condoms and other things, wrappers of tramadol, and then matches and other things which they have used to enjoy themselves. And these are all signs that, and occasionally we come to see people sitting there and actually engage in other things that are not appropriate.
Joy News checks in many of the colleges of education reveal a similar situation. But whilst rejecting the description of the directive of a reintroduction of the quota system, GTech says it is simply a rational and pragmatic decision.
The number of teachers that we need to produce for the campus. So it's also from a quality perspective. We want to make sure that the classrooms are not overcrowded and that students are being given quality teaching. In the past, when reference was made to some quota system, I'm sure you may have had access to what Professor Yanka, who was Minister of State at the time, said. He said we do not operate with a quota system. The only constraint to the number at that time was the physical space for having the students on campus, classroom, hostels, and the like. And then also being mindful of the quality. So it's still the same thing. So there hasn't been quality. When I hear people say reintroduction of quota system, it seems to be suggestive of a certain fixed mindset that prevailed at a certain point, which is being reached. No, we're just being rational and pragmatic. Physical space as how many can be